The lights were dim and the music was pulsating the room as she climbed the pole like a sexy lioness. Every move was calculated without fear and with total confidence. And in that moment, I thought to myself, that girl knows her power.
I'm Pamela Portnoy.
I'm Alexa Marie Anderson.
And no one's okay.
What was that?
I tried to roll my R and it didn't work out. There it was.
Oh, God. Okay. There she is, ladies and gentlemen.
I have arrived.
You have arrived. So, Pam.
Oh, God.
What did we do?
We took a pole dancing intro class.
Was that your sexy voice?
I know, it didn't come up that way.
Yeah, no.
Run away, boys.
All right.
Everything's fine. We took an intro to pole dancing class together for an empowerment exercise.
Yeah. And it was
Confidence inducing.
confident. Yeah. It was my first time ever doing something like that. So it was very interesting and very, I learned a lot. Learned a lot about myself.
What did you learn? Pray tell.
Well, I wasn't super like freaked out or nervous because I do have a background in dance. So I was like, okay, this is going to be fun and exciting. But I will say, I think I expected something and it was the complete opposite of what I thought, but in a good way. In a very good way.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think coming from a dance background, like you're very judgmental of yourself and you go in and there's mirrors and you are constantly looking and seeing if you're, doing everything
Checking
correctly.
your form and
Checking
shit.
your form, But this was very much so an experience of like your natural like body movements and just like feeling good. There were no mirrors. No mirrors to
It
look
was
at.
dark
It was
in there.
dark.
It was very dim light. Like,
yeah. And they
of course,
yeah.
dim lighting in the dark. No mirrors.
Yeah.
Everything was like in a red, sexy hue.
Yeah.
You could barely see anyone that wasn't like right up against your face. So
It was
you
very hard
felt
to see
kind of
anyone else, yeah.
alone. You
Yeah,
were
you
aware of
kind
the
of-
other bodies, but you
felt, pretty much, not by yourself, but
like you had a sense of privacy.
yeah, sense of privacy. They lead you through this like warm up that is like set up for like the feminine body and your curves and all of that, and it's kind of just like embracing yourself.
Yes.
Wouldn't you say?
I would say so. I'd say like it was kind of like a dance stretch. Yeah, it was like a full stretch with like ab work and like some push-ups and things like that, but it was done to music in a way that it was all flowing together and it was very slow and you kind of leaned into your hips and you push your chest out and like it was just like expanding your feminine body, like the space in which it encouraged you to take up more space.
Take up space. Yeah. And that's, that in itself, I feel like I don't take up a lot of space in my everyday life. I think I shy away from that. So
I
that
have
was
the
a
worst
huge...
posture in the world, so I noticed that I'm just like,
Mhm.
I'm going to take up as little space as I
Yep.
possibly can. But that is so counterintuitive to like what I need to be doing.
Absolutely. It was very, I felt very supported by everyone in the class.
It's a totally judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
They make sure of that. They're like, we're not here to judge. If anything, cheer everyone on. Like, this is a support. Everyone's on a different journey. Everyone's at a different, space in their path. And everyone was really kind and, compassionate and just there to enjoy themselves, which I loved.
Yeah, it was really nice. I think especially as a woman, you go through life kind of, I don't want to say like, or I should say like filtering yourself or like shielding yourself a lot, or I don't know how to, like putting up walls to protect yourself in everyday life. And it was like
Yes.
a space where you could not not care, and B, take up space, bring down those walls. Just, it was purely for yourself and not for anyone else.
It's kind of really sad, but it's also kind of at the forefront of what's going on, like in the news the last couple of years. But I was thinking about, when I was taking this class, I was thinking about the relationship that I have with my own body, and how, like walking to my car at night, after acting class, or like when I'm out with friends, I really try to make myself as small as possible, because I've been taught and have seen and heard stories of, like, when you are walking tall and, in your, feminine power, and drawing attention to yourself, that can lead to like some safety issues.
Absolutely.
Some serious safety issues. And so being in a space that allows you to kind of fully embrace that was really empowering.
And not have to care what anyone thinks.
It's really fucked up if you think about it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think the beauty of doing that exercise was that we got to experience it. And now we get to, you know what I'm saying? Like, use it outside in a different way. But it's a lot about confidence. I think as women, confidence is a hard thing to have and keep.
Yeah. It's fragile. I'd like it not to be.
Honestly, a lot of confidence comes from pretending you are. And then it, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of a little bit of like a fake it till you make it kind of thing. Like, you kind of have to pretend like you have it in order to achieve it.
And then I feel like maybe that leads to more self-awareness and more just being confident in what you have, and just knowing what you have and having it be unshakable.
Absolutely.
I would really love for my confidence to be unshakable, but I'll like notice certain things that'll happen that I'll start questioning myself 100%.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I think what I've noticed with myself is that in certain situations it can be unshakable, and then in other situations, like, it's shaken to its core. It really depends on what part of me it's, is being like criticized, if that makes sense.
We're sensitive to different areas.
Everyone's sensitive to different things, so it just really depends on what gets you.
What I found really interesting about this class is that because it was dark and because there were no mirrors, you were kind of left with your own thoughts, and it kind of made you pay attention to the way you thought about your own body and the way that you thought you were being perceived. So I noticed in the moments where I would really let the music kind of like take over, and I would just like not even pay attention to what my body was doing, that's when I felt the most empowered and most graceful. But when I started thinking, oh God, did I pull off that move? Oh my God, what did I do this like hip thruster correctly? That's when I start like tripping all over myself, and I like,
yeah. Well, and I had never, I've like never done anything on the pole, any tricks or anything. And in this intro class, they teach you a couple tricks on the pole. And I remember like sitting there, and there was a moment where, because there was like, what, 5 of us and then 2 poles?
Yes.
I don't really remember.
Yeah.
So 2 at a time would go. And I'm like, this is the first time I'm ever been in a room with these humans, first of all, besides you. I just was taught this trick, and I was like, I know I'm not going to do it correctly. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but like, I had a moment of like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to go and try it. And if it sucks, it sucks. If it doesn't, whatever. Like, cool. Like, and I just kind of did the thing. And after a while, I kind of got comfortable with like.
And it did look cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, it was a very, very cool experience. And also, especially for me, because being in dance class a lot of my life, it's about being perfect. I know, like, I shouldn't really say that, because I'm sure teachers out there will be like, oh, we don't expect you to be perfect. Like, I know, but the culture of it and, like, the vibe, you have to be, especially, like, in ballet class, like, you have to hit this move right, and if your form's not correct, then it was wrong, and it's very specific, and everything has to be perfect. So like, I really, really enjoyed the freedom of being in a class that was based off the movement, where I didn't have to be in perfect form. And I didn't have to, if I did something different than the person next to me, it didn't mean I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was like super freeing.
Yeah, 100%. I felt the same way. Yeah, because I've taken this class before.
Yeah,
And-
you have more experience with this type of.
I mean, I'm not like good by any stretch of the imagination.
She is good. You are good. Yes, you like went out there to like demonstrate with her, and I was like, oh,
Okay, that's what I was going to talk about, right? Because we get there, and I hadn't been in class for, I want to say, 8 years or so, because it was 8 years, and I left off right when I learned how to go upside down, and I was like, fuck it, I know how to go upside down. Stick a fork in me, I'm done. Like, I am awesome. I don't need to learn anymore. No, which is so not true. There's so much behind this art form and dance. But I got there and she's like, you've been a student here before. Would you like to demonstrate with me at the end of class? And I'm like, absolutely fucking not. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm so rusty. Like, I've only like in my meditative sessions like danced in my living room. Like, no, absolutely not. And she's like, well, let's see how you feel after class, like towards the end. And she was 100% right. It was like having that muscle memory of like relearning your confidence and like getting back into your body. It changes everything. And towards the end of class, she asked me again, she's like, do you want to demonstrate with me? And I was like, yes, please. And I knew like full well, like this woman she's unbelievable. She's an incredible dancer.
Yeah, she was stunning.
And I'm not. Like, I have like, okay, like I just have a great time doing it, and I know like certain things, and like I think the whole point of this is like if you're having fun, you look good.
Exactly.
That's like the number one takeaway.
I was gonna
like,
say, I was like different. I mean, yes, maybe you guys had different skill sets, but like no one was like outshining.
It's just, that's exactly the correct thing. I think we have different skill sets, but I just had so much fun, and I was like feeling so good about myself. And like even if she was like 15 feet in the air, like on the pole, like doing some crazy trick, which I didn't watch her because I was like really into what I was doing, like on the floor, like in the corner.
Living.
I was living my life just by myself, but from right here, like she's fucking epic.
I like the floor work actually.
It's really fun.
More than
it's very animalistic.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's muscle memory, the confidence and the feeling good in your body. Like you can easily forget this shit. And I've taken like lots of movement classes and things for acting because you really got to like be aware of what's going on, because it's your instrument. It's what you use to convey everything to the audience, you know? So it felt good to kind of be in touch with it again.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I was also thinking about how being on the pole, this is going to sound so weird. This is going to sound weird. But, like, it's very similar. They call it, like, playing. And, like, it's very similar to, like, the monkey bars on the playground.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Oh, my God. I'm so glad you met that up.
Met that up?
Brought that up. We're doing great. We're doing great. Brought that up because that's really what pushed me to go out there and, like, volunteer myself. Because remember when she was, like, we were doing the trick, and no one was going. And I remember her saying, like, just be a little girl on the playground. Like, these are the monkey bars. This is, just go for it. And I was like, you know what? She's right. Like,
it opens up a completely different part of your brain.
Yeah. That is really what got me to just be like, okay, fuck it. I'm going. I'm just going to go play. And that's what I did. And it felt great because I wasn't overthinking anything. I wasn't judging myself. And I knew in the vibe of the room, I've never met those ladies before, but they had such a great vibe.
Yeah.
Everyone was so open and non-judgmental and very kind.
Everyone was there for different reasons, but no one was there to like show off.
I felt so supported.
Yeah.
I felt so supported by them. It was beautiful, honestly, because I mean, a lot of times, as sad as this is, I think you and I operate on building other women up. That's how we operate. But that isn't
Oh my God, I talk about that all the
that
time.
isn't the case for everyone. And so it's really difficult. It's really difficult sometimes, especially in our profession, I would say.
It makes me really sad that I don't find that many, this is going to sound so messed up, but like there aren't that many female actresses that I'm friends with the exception of you and maybe a couple of others. And it's not because I don't want it. I want it. But I find that there's like this inherent competition that I personally, and I could be completely wrong, this is completely in my opinion, I feel like there's no such thing as competition.
But
because you're either the character or you're fucking not.
Right. And also, like, we're different. We're all different. I don't care. I mean, I know everyone can be, people can be the same type as you. I get that. But, like, at the end of the day, you're not repeatable as a human. So if someone else that looks exactly, say they look exactly like me, but they got the part, that's because they have something different than I do.
There's something internally that they're
so there's
harnessing
really no
that, like,
reason
is the character. And you
yeah.
you and I even went out for the same role once.
Oh yeah,
which was
we
like
did.
Hilarious. And we like
totally did.
realized it over drinks one night, and we're like, oh yeah, we both auditioned for that role.
And we were like, fuck yes.
And I was
think
like,
we cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
We're like, cheers, girl.
If you get it, fucking awesome. If I get it, fucking awesome. But like, if I get it, or if you get the role, it doesn't mean that you took the role away from me.
Yes, exactly.
It's complete horseshit.
Yeah.
You were the character. End of story.
It's crazy how a lot of actors think that way.
It makes me really sad.
It is sad because honestly, I value the fact, like, I think you are my only actor friend. And I mean,
you have some dancer friends.
Dancer friends, other performance, yeah, but acting wise, I think, because I mean, I've had acquaintances and stuff, but it just gets weird. You get a weird vibe.
I have a lot of like male actor friends.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because they're like, oh, she's not my competition, or if it's just because I can't speak for men. I should ask them. Maybe we should have some men come join us on an episode.
We should.
And ask them. But like, maybe it's, you know what? I'm sure they have that feeling of competition. But I don't know why I feel it more with the ladies.
Yeah.
I really wish it were different because I love being friends with women. I love having women in my life.
Yeah. Well, it's like we were saying, what were you saying to me the one time? You were like, if a woman intimidates me, I want to befriend them.
100%.
You're like, that's my friend.
I'm like,
and I'm
she's so awesome. I need to be her friend.
I'm the same way. And I think, and it's interesting because I think a lot of people are taken back by that.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing?
A lot of people are, from what I've seen, when they get intimidated by someone, they like run away.
Back off. I'm like, I'm intimidated by you. I want to find out why. Let's be friends.
I want to fight you. No, yeah. You. That's you. Yeah, that's me too.
I'm like, let's collaborate.
100%. Because I love that saying. It's like, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
So I love surrounding myself with people that quote unquote intimidate me, but like I know that that's ridiculous.
You learn things.
I like being around powerful, lovely human beings.
Yep. You learn a lot of stuff.
That's so interesting. But there was no space in this class for competition. Only
Not at
encouragement.
All. It was really nice. It was a really nice atmosphere. And I'll even point out too, and this is something we had talked about, I think as women especially, we apologize for ourselves all the time when we've literally done nothing wrong. I am so guilty of it. I mean, I do it on the daily. Like, I'll be slightly in someone's way and I'll be like, I'm so sorry. Like, what? Like, I was just passing by. Like, that's my right to move and take up space
in the world.
Yeah, I do it all the time, and I especially, this is like, I think something I really need to work on. I especially apologize to men a lot, even more so women.
Really?
Yeah, for taking up space.
I didn't notice who I apologize to more, but I'm trying to get better at that. I'm also trying to get better at taking compliments.
Yeah.
Because personally, when I give someone a compliment, I'm not just giving the compliment to give the compliment. I actually mean it. And so every time, I've noticed, until recently, because I'm trying to change this, every time someone would give me a compliment, I'd be like, oh, no, but thanks. No, but thanks. And I'm like, they wouldn't be saying it. I mean, I don't think they'd be saying it unless it were.
No, because you don't do that. I used to do that all the time until one of my mentors in theater, it was in high school, and I did something, I did a performance, and he complimented me on something. And I was like, oh, really? Like, do you think so? And he was like, that's rude. He's like, I just complimented you on something. Say thank you. Now you're disagreeing with my compliment. I was like, oh, no. Like, he knew. He wasn't like actually mad at me. He was just like teaching me a lesson. He was like, that's rude. He was like, take the compliment. He's like, I'm not giving it to you like for shits and giggles. Like,
yeah,
don't disagree with me. Like, it makes me feel weird then. And he's totally right. And ever since then, my mindset has kind of changed, and I like tried to like rewire my brain so that whenever someone gives me a compliment, I just say thank you. And it felt really weird for like a long time.
You feel cocky when you say thank
yes,
you, right?
It felt really weird. I was like, oh, thank you. Like, okay, like, you know.
I think since the last time you and I talked about this, I've started to say thank you more, and I always feel weird about it.
Yeah. It's stupid because you're not being cocky.
You're being gracious.
Yeah, you're like, thank you. That's like, you know, and I've gotten better at it for sure, but it was something I had to learn. And it's weird that the opposite was happening. Like, where did I learn that? Like, that's something I need to explore, because where did I learn to like apologize or not be sure that I did a good job and to believe their compliment? Like, why am I so suspicious that they would be paying me a compliment? You know what I mean?
I 100% know what you mean.
It's weird.
These are all the things that I feel we take on as we go through life and move through life and as we grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing I noticed is, you know, this is why kids are such good actors, is because they don't have these walls that we're building as we go through life, like as adults. Like, they're just like free, and they're open to anything.
I love watching kid actors. My favorite movie, Stand By Me.
Nice.
That's my favorite movie, and mostly because the boys in that movie are so honest, and they don't care. Kid actors are great.
That reminds me of the if you ever watch like the auditions on YouTube, I'm obsessed with watching actor auditions on YouTube. The kid who auditioned for E.T.
That is the best.
So good.
And how still is he?
Very still. It's just very truthful.
Like, for a kid, he's so still and focused, and he's just, oh my God, the honesty of that. It's incredible.
It was honestly phenomenal. And that's why, like,
that's a good audition.
It reminded me, like, playing in this dance class, it really, like, forced you to break down those walls, break down really confront what your blocks are. And even thinking about that, like, pole dancing is, like, later on in the classes, we didn't do any stripping in this class, but, like, later on you, like, learn how to do a striptease and learn how to do, like, a lap dance and things like that. Like, very, like, sensual things. But all on your, like, own terms, not, you know, gratuitous, you know, titillating for the sake of being titillating, just, like, for your own enjoyment kind of thing. It's almost metaphorical. Like, stripping the clothes, like, it's like stripping down, breaking down these walls, which I thought was interesting.
That's very interesting. I think it's important, like, to know too that it's just like owning yourself, owning your body. It's not for anyone else. Our instructor did a dance for us at the end of class, and it was like, it was so fascinating to watch because you could tell through the whole thing it was for her.
Yeah. It was like we weren't even there.
Yeah, it was like we weren't even there. It wasn't for us. It wasn't for anyone. It was like, it was just for her. And she was so fluid. It was impressive. It was really impressive.
I don't like saying enviable, but it's enviable because, you know what? I look up to it. It's a goal that I would like to achieve. It's a muscle I would like to continue working so that it doesn't fucking atrophy. I would like to.
It is a muscle. You have to
work
flex,
it.
And like your confidence. You have to work on it to use it.
Yeah. Because sometimes, I don't know if you have this experience when you're like on stage or if you're performing a scene, sometimes I feel like I'm a head floating in space and that I'm not really attached to my body. I feel like the nerves sometimes like cut my head off. Do you ever experience that?
Okay, I can't say that I have.
You haven't?
No.
Well, you're also a dancer, so you're very like naturally, you dance all the time. So maybe that muscle is really built up in you, maybe.
Maybe. I really wanted to relate with that, though. I was like totally
because I don't dance all the time, and so I feel like sometimes I get really heady. Even if it's like an emotional scene, sometimes like if it's really emotional, maybe it'll like drop down into my chest. But sometimes it's like, what do I do with my hands? What do I do with my feet? It's very heady.
That's
sometimes.
Interesting. I would really,
particularly when you're on a time crunch, right? Like with an audition, you don't get much time, 24 to 48 hours sometimes, and it's like I just want to get the material down pat and I want to connect to it, and you can do more if you had a little bit more time. Not that I'm a complainer, but like it's I wish I were better. I need to just work on my movement and be like connect the whole thing more.
It's interesting that you say that because I feel like I'm the opposite. I feel like my body is more comfortable, and not to say that like my head isn't, but like
like my body's doing the scene.
Where's
my head?
My body's there, my head's around. No, like
what part of your body would you say is doing the scene in particular?
I don't know. My hands, maybe. I don't know.
My hands.
No, it's very interesting that you said that because I always feel very much so in my body. I just think it's the overthinking thing for me. It's more my mind just going at like 100 miles a minute that will fuck me up. Yeah. It's weird. I'm like one of those people, like the less I think about it, the better. I've always been that way to a T. It's weird.
This is why we work so well together.
Like I'm
the opposite.
I'm like one of those people like in school they'd be like it's weird like this harder like even in math or whatever they'd be like it's weird like this harder equation you actually got correct but like this really easy one you didn't so we're confused and it's like because my brain is thinking way too much like it was working enough to get the hard you know what I'm saying like that's just an example I don't really know for sure but like I was always that person that like got the harder things and then the easier things were harder for me.
It's so interesting.
It was like weird.
You're lovely.
Backwards.
No, I don't think there's right or wrong with that at all. Do you have any favorite performances when it comes to confidence, empowerment, keeping your head and your body attached?
Oh, yes. Keeping my head and my body attached. I feel like that's really difficult. It's like a thing that everyone needs to work on. Something that I just recently watched for the second time that I kind of forgot about. I was watching Iron Lady the other night.
Queen Meryl.
Meryl, yes. Fabulous film. Meryl's fabulous. But she portrays Margaret Thatcher in that film. And there's it's I don't know if you've seen it, there's flashbacks to her time in office. And at one point in time she has to decide whether to send troops in or not to an island that had been invaded. And all of these men, the scene is like all of these men surrounding her, telling her this and that, and if we send troops, like they might retaliate, and maybe we shouldn't, and blah 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 blah, and the military is there, and all these stuff, and they're telling her all these different things, and she's just sitting there, and she's looking, and then she looks up and she goes, "Send the troops." And I'm like, yes, like all these men were trying,
chills,
just like she's just so confident in herself with all of these powerful powerhouse men standing around her telling her what to do, and she's like, no, I'm gonna do what I want. Oh, that moment,
the right thing that she felt.
Yeah, that moment is like, fuck yes.
Love that.
Yeah.
What about you? Of course you pick Meryl for like an Meryl. Empowerment confidence.
I mean,
Queen
who doesn't?
Queen Meryl. Mine?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what you're doing over there. It's like,
I'm doing like a shimmy because I literally was just thinking Keanu Reeves.
Oh my God.
Was shimmying. I love me.
Now we know
Keanu
how
Reeves.
she feels about that.
I met him once. He is like, it's like
did.
looking into the sun. It's like amazing. I think of The Matrix. I think of Neo realizing that he is the one. I think of bullets just stopping right in front of his face, of him looking at them, picking one out, dropping it on the floor. That is power.
And it's like with no effort. Like no effort.
Just calm.
Yeah.
Just completely sure. Just he went through all this garbage.
Confidence is calm.
It's knowing. It's understanding what you are, what you're about. That's a scene that really stands out to me. It's like my favorite movie. I'm not gonna lie, it's my favorite movie. And I felt a little funny like picking The Matrix to be my favorite movies. We've been talking about like female empowerment like this whole episode, but I'm like, fuck it. Like empowerment is empowerment.
Okay. We don't have to.
We don't discriminate.
No, we're not those people that are like women are better. No, we get it.
Everyone is amazing.
Yeah,
and I choose Neo in The Matrix. That is my favorite empowerment scene.
I love that. No, I'm happy.
Sure.
No, I'm happy you.
And he fights these guys off with one hand.
Yeah, I'm happy you picked a scene.
Yeah,
with a male. It's good.
I love me some Keanu Reeves. He's a precious gem.
Yes. I can agree.
Are you okay?
Don't
give me this shit right now.
No. I'm feeling good. I feel like.
Did you finish your rosé yet? Not yet.
Not yet. No, I've been sipping on it. No, I'm feeling good. Whenever we, put ourselves into our work, I feel like 10 times better. So I am feeling hopeful and excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I feel the same way. I was feeling very pessimistic this morning. I'm very kind of sad, and I didn't really know why. There are like certain things here and there that I was like, that's kind of a bummer. But the second we started working today, I was like, yeah, I got my mojo back.
I know. That's always the thing for us. It's good. It's good, though.
My oldest friend, I've known her since she was a fetus. She's known me since she was born. Avi. She's getting married this weekend, and I'm in her wedding party, and it's all very exciting.
It's very exciting.
And I can't wait. They've been together for, I want to say 12 years now.
Wow.
They're high school sweethearts.
Oh.
And they're finally getting married, and they're amazing.
Good for them. That's
very,
awesome.
very excited about it. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. So I'm more than okay.
Yes.
Yay. Shout out to Kristen and Frank.
Congrats.
Congrats, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the things. If for some reason you want to see more of us, you can follow us on Instagram at NoOne'sOkay.
And a special thanks to Jordan Ross Weinhold, Sean Moore, Jason Crow, Claire Palmer, Jackson Palmer, Tiffany Haymoff, Shane Rings, James Liddell, and our podcast is recorded at Soundworks Studios.
We can't wait to meet you! What are you doing? What are you doing? Touch my body.
That's what this made me think
I love
of.
how you started saying that after I said he's recording. It's red. He's recording.
Oh! Can we use that?
I just hit myself in the face. It's all right.